there, it's Darcy Sullivan from the Clinic Marketing Podcast and Propel Marketing and Design. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to a brand new, limited time, on-demand webinar called How to Dominate Google Search, Google Maps, and AI-driven search results. This is designed just for clinics. In just 1 hour, you'll get a roadmap for boosting your online visibility, making sure people near you find your clinic first, all without paying for ads. You'll also walk away with a free patient-centered SEO action plan. If you've ever felt buried in the Google results or puzzled about how to rank higher for your targeted keywords, this webinar is for you. Register now by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn or grab the link in the show notes. Hey there, it's Darcy Sullivan from Propel Marketing and Design, and you're listening to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. Today we're talking about diversifying beyond Google, which platforms still matter for clinics, and how to prioritize without turning yourself into a full-time marketing department. Because, let's be honest, be everywhere is not a plan. It's a fast track to burnout. By the end of this episode, you'll have a simple way to decide which platforms are worth your time, what good enough looks like on each, what to do this week to start building visibility that isn't held hostage by one algorithm. All right, let's do it. First, the goal of diversifying is not to replace Google. The goal is to build a clinic presence that still gets discovered, still builds trust, and still drives appointments even when Google feels unpredictable. Here's the trap I see clinics fall into. They hear diversify, and they start trying to post on 5 social platforms, claim 15 directories, start a YouTube channel, and launch a newsletter, all in the same week. So today we're going to use a framework that keeps you focused. I want you to think of every platform as having one main job. Discovery, helping people find you. Trust, helping people feel confident choosing you. Conversion, helping them take action and book. A platform does not need to do all 3. It just needs to do one job well and fit your clinic and your market. Here's the 3-tier platform framework for clinics. Tier 1, non-negotiables, your foundation. This is the stuff that supports everything else. 1, your website. Your website is the hub you control. It's where you want every platform to point, and it's where people go when they're comparing options. 2, a solid presence in the major map ecosystems. Most clinics think maps means Google Business Profile, but patients live in different ecosystems. Apple Maps matters because iPhone users and Siri use it, and Apple has a dedicated portal called Apple Business Connect, where you can manage how you show up across Apple surfaces. Bing matters because it powers Bing Search and Bing Maps results via Bing Places for Business, which is where you claim or update your listing. Even if Google is your main driver, cleaning these up is a low-effort, high-leverage move. 3, reviews and reputation basics. Not because you need perfect ratings, but because patients cross-check. They want consistency and proof. Tier 1 is about accuracy and clarity. If someone searches your clinic name, everything they find should match. Name, address, phone. Hours, what you do, how to book. Tier 2, high leverage supports. Pick 1 to 3. This is where clinics get real growth beyond Google. Tier 2 includes 1 primary social platform, not all of them. 1 or 2 directories that make sense for your niche and market. 1 content channel that builds trust, often video or email. This tier is about credibility and reinforcement. Tier 3, optional add-ons, only with bandwidth. This is the nice-to-have layer. Secondary social channels, extra directories, bigger content projects, paid strategies. Tier 3 is where you go after you've stopped bleeding time in Tier 1 and Tier 2. Next, the prioritization scorecard, quick and practical. Here's how to decide what to work on next. Give each platform a score from 1 to 5 for discovery potential in your market, trust impact for your patients, effort required to maintain, your team's comfort level, conversion potential, can it drive calls, clicks, bookings? Then pick your top 2 non-Google platforms to focus on for the next 90 days. That 90-day window matters because you need enough time to see what actually moves the needle. So, which platforms still matter for clinics and what good enough looks like? I'm going to run through a few categories, and for each one, I'll share why it matters, who it's best for, what to do without overdoing it. 1. Apple Maps via Apple Business Connect. Why it matters. Apple Business Connect helps you manage how you appear in Apple Maps and other Apple experiences like Siri and Wallet. Apple Support +1. Best for basically every local clinic, especially if you serve an iPhone-heavy community, which is most places. Good enough checklist. Claim it. Confirm your details. Add photos. Verify your categories and primary services. 2. Bing Places. Why it matters. Microsoft explicitly directs businesses to use Bing Places for Business to add or change business information that appears in Bing Maps search results. Best for every clinic, but especially clinics that want broader coverage across search ecosystems. Good enough checklist. Claim or update your listing. Confirm NAP and hours. Check for duplicates. Add photos. 3. Yelp market dependent. Why it matters. In some cities and for some services, Yelp still shows up in results, and patients still use it to compare options. Best for clinics in metro areas or competitive markets where Yelp is visible. Good enough checklist. Claim it if it's active in your market. Make sure info is accurate. Do not obsess over posting there every week. 4. Healthcare directories. Choose one primary. Why it matters. These often function as trust platforms. Patients use them when they're in compare and verify mode. Best for clinics with specialized services or clinics that rely on professional credibility signals. Good enough checklist. Complete the profile all the way. Keep provider info consistent. Use real photos if allowed. Link back to the most relevant page on your website. 5. Social platforms. Pick one primary. Social should not be a guilt project. Pick one primary platform based on where your patients are and what you can maintain. If your clinic is very visual, Instagram can be great for trust. If your clinic is community-driven, Facebook can be powerful for referrals and local visibility. If you serve professionals or do B2B partnerships, LinkedIn might make sense. Good enough cadence, 2 to 4 posts a month consistently with a repeatable format. Also, add this platform to your list, YellowPages.com. Okay, now let's talk about YellowPages.com because most clinics either ignore it or assume it's irrelevant. YellowPages still has an active Manage Your Free Listing flow and a dedicated Claim Your Listing path. Why it still matters? YellowPages can act like a consistency and validation node across the local ecosystem. Even if patients are not browsing YellowPages daily, having accurate listings in established directories supports your overall footprint. Also, YellowPages indicates it can distribute your profile across related properties like Superpages and Dexnos as part of its claim flow, which is another reason accuracy matters. YellowPages. Who it's best for. Clinics that have moved, rebranded, changed phone numbers, or have any messy listing history. Clinics in competitive areas where trust and consistency are the difference between showing up and disappearing. What good enough looks like on YellowPages. Claim the listing. Make sure your name, address, phone, hours, and website link match your website and your main listings. Add categories and a short description that matches your real services. Upload a few photos. Check for duplicates. If you want my step-by-step checklist specifically for clinics for YellowPages.com, we'll include it in the show notes. Now let's talk about the question I'm hearing more and more. How do I show up when someone searches inside AI tools like ChatGPT or Grok? Here's the simple truth. AI tools are not magic directories. They pull from the web, and they tend to reward the same things that help real humans trust you. What matters for AI visibility? 1. Be easy to verify across sources. ChatGPT has a web search experience that can provide answers with links to sources, and it can choose to search the web depending on what a user asks. When someone asks for local recommendations, the best setup is your clinic details are consistent across key platforms. Your website clearly explains what you do. There are trustworthy third-party mentions and listings that match. That's why the boring stuff like Apple Maps, Bing Places, and established directories still matter. 2. Website clarity beats clever marketing. AI results tend to improve when your website answers common questions clearly. For clinics, that means a strong service page for each core service, a clear areas we serve section if relevant, an FAQ block that answers real patient questions in plain language, a clear booking call to action. If your content is vague, AI has less to work with. 3. Structured data helps machines read your site. Schema is not a magic button, but it helps make your business details machine readable, and it supports consistency between your website and your listings. At minimum, you want clean local business type information and consistent provider and location details. 4. Reputation is still a trust signal. Reviews, consistent mentions, and credible profiles matter because they provide external confirmation. A quick note about Grok. Grok is designed to use real-time public X posts and can conduct real-time web search depending on the query. So if you operate in a space where local community chatter and timely topics matter, your public presence and consistent entity details become even more important. Not because you need to post 10 times a day, but because you want the web to have consistent, accurate information about your clinic. Your AI Ready in 60 Minutes checklist? If you do nothing else this week, do this. Confirm your top listing ecosystems are accurate. Apple Business Connect, Apple Maps, Bing Places. YellowPages claim and profile accurate. Add a tight FAQ section to your main service page. Who is this for? What does a first visit look like? How many sessions do people typically need? Do you take insurance or how does payment work? Make your booking path obvious. One primary button, same wording everywhere. Book, schedule, request appointment. That improves Google results, directory performance, and AI visibility at the same time. Here are some common mistakes to avoid. Before we wrap up, here are the mistakes I want you to skip. Trying to diversify by opening accounts everywhere. Pick 2 platforms outside Google and do them well. Posting constantly instead of fixing your foundation. A perfect Instagram feed will not help if your clinic hours are wrong on Apple Maps. Inconsistent service naming. If your website says laser therapy, your directory says cold laser, and your profiles say LLLT, you are making it harder for both humans and machines to understand what you offer. Measuring the wrong metrics. Likes are nice, appointments pay the bills, track, calls, form fills, direction requests, and booked consults. Here's a quick recap and what to do next. Here's your simple plan. Tier 1, website plus map ecosystems plus reputation basics. Tier 2, pick 2 to 3 supports, usually 1 directory plus 1 trust channel. Tier 3, only after you are consistent. Your next step is to pick your top 2 non-Google platforms and commit to a 90-day focus. If YellowPages is missing or incorrect for your clinic, claim it and clean it up. If you want the walkthrough, you can grab it in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.